What's up? What's up? What's up? And welcome to another episode of the Savory Show. This is your boy and co-host Avery Floyd.
What's up, good people? It's co-host Sterling Littlejohn.
Yes, sir. We are back again. And if you guys can't tell, actually, this is the first time in a while it's just been Sterling and I on the podcast. We had a phenomenal 3 weeks in a row. We had our homies at the 336 Pull-Up Podcast. We had the homie RC. We had the phenomenal Miss Diane Billings-Burford. So we had a star-studded 3 weeks, y'all. So we've been doing it pretty well over here at the Savory Show, but sometimes it's always good to go back to the old thing, and at least in this case. So that old thing is just Sterling and I going at it live in front of y'all. So we in video too. So this is the first time, you know what I'm saying, just us two on the video. So had to bring that to y'all. It's been a minute, like I said, and we got a lot to get into. So, man, to start it off, you guys know, obviously, Super Bowl came and went. I forgot what happened, but supposedly, I think, the Buccaneers beat Kansas City Chiefs, 31-9. But we're not here to talk about Super Bowl, okay? We'll get to Brady later, not right now. What I'm getting into, man, is my old guy, Carson Wentz, got traded. I've been waiting for this to happen for some weeks now. And as I tried to tell Sterling and I tried to tell some other people who didn't believe me that Wentz was getting traded to the Indianapolis Colts. That's right. Reunited with his man, Frank Reich. Okay. As you guys know, you guys listen to Sports Center. You've been listening to First Take. You've been listening to Get Up. First Things First, Undisputed. All the great shows we love to watch, right? And they've all been talking about, Carson Wentz had an amazing MVP caliber season in 2017 with Frank Reich as the OC. Frank Reich, who I love near and dear to my heart because he was a part of that Super Bowl team with the Eagles. Pretty solid coach too. The Colts are probably the only team I could see Wentz going to and being successful with. Okay. With that being said, obviously this past year as an Eagles fan was awful. All the rumors, the rumblings behind the scenes kind of came true, right? Sterling's favorite receiver, Alshon Jeffrey, had a report a couple years back saying that Carson Wentz pretty much is a prima donna. He's an awful teammate. He's selfish. He's spoiled. He's a selfish prick, as I like to call him. And I think it came true. But more importantly, the details of the trade, right? Carson Wentz was traded for this year's 2021 third-round pick and a conditional second-round pick for the following year. So it could turn into a first-round pick only if Carson Wentz starts 75% of the snaps or he starts 70% of the snaps and they make the playoffs. So I think either one will be true. Either one will be true personally. So really you're getting the third and the first. The Eagles are making it like they wanted a Matthew Stafford type deal. You guys remember Stafford was traded to the Rams for 2 first-round picks. And I think a third or a fourth or something like that. Carson Wentz was the worst starting NFL quarterback last season. You were not going to get 2 first-round picks. You weren't getting a first-round pick for this year, right? So as dreadful as it seems for myself as an Eagles fan, I'm looking forward to the Jalen Hurts regime in Philadelphia. As you guys know, I'm a big Eagles fan. And also the Eagles have the most starting black quarterbacks in NFL history, and they're adding to the list with Jalen Hurts. Do I believe in the head coach? No. Do I believe in the GM? Hell no. I don't really believe in many of the people on this organization anymore. I just want to see the brother Jalen Hurts succeed. I don't know if he's in a good spot to succeed, but I just want to see the brother play. He's exciting when he plays. He makes me excited to watch football. So even if the Eagles go 6-10 next year, I'll be excited watching them go 6-10. But with that being said, bro, you're Mr. Indianapolis now. This is your city. So I want to know from you, man, and the people you've been speaking to, how does the city of Indianapolis, the crossroads of America, is, the nickname for your city, how do you guys feel about Mr. Carson Wentz being in Indianapolis, bro? Please share. Please share.
All right. So first off, you need to calm down for one. Okay, just relax. You're getting overly excited because the man is gone. You're talking about Jalen Hurts this, Jalen Hurts that. Here, let me ask you something. I know you saw the news because you're a Philadelphia Eagles fan. You saw the news the other day. Actually came out today. There's going to be quarterback competition with Jalen Hurts. So there's no guarantee that this man will be the starter next season. So you're talking about, I'm excited about him starting this and that, but there's no guarantee the man is going to start. There's no guarantee, bro.
That's true. But if we're keeping it real, I look at it this way, right? Howie Roseman, the GM, through all this change, Doug Peterson gets fired. Wentz gets traded. Howie Roseman's still there. Howie Roseman selected Jalen Hurts. So you better start him. If I'm the owner looking at if I'm Jeffrey Lurie, which obviously I wouldn't want to be right now, but if you're looking at Howie Roseman, you selected this man in the second round last year. Really the reason why Wentz is out now. You have to start Jalen Hurts. I think they'll do this, bro. This is what I think they're going to go. They're going to do one or two things. One, they'll sign a veteran who will really be a backup, or they will draft a quarterback in this draft. Will they draft it with the 6th pick? I kind of hope they don't. But if they do, I've been hearing they've been looking at Trey Lance from North Dakota State.
Yes, they have.
Are you telling me after all of this, you're going to go back to North Dakota State?
Yes, they are.
Why do it to yourselves, man?
Don't do it, Howie. Do it, Howie. Go back to North Dakota. Go back, bro. But no, okay, look. I'll put it this way. I personally think Zach Wilson will go to the New York Jets with number 2 pick. But if he's still there at 6, y'all going to take him. Y'all going to take him. I'm just letting it be known now. If he is still there at 6, which I don't think he will, it's unlikely in my opinion. But if he is, y'all going to end up taking him. What I'm trying to say is I don't think you guys are even sold that Jalen Hurts is the guy. I don't think you are. I know what you just said. They took him with the 2nd round pick last year. I get all that. It sounds good. It's amazing. But at the end of the day, I could possibly see you guys using to get another quarterback up in Philadelphia. That's all I'm saying.
So
going back.
I hear you, bro. Because I mean, technically speaking, if we're being real, Nate Sudfeld, he's leaving. They only have Hurts is the only quarterback on the roster. So by default, they have to sign at least a couple more. They will get a veteran. They will draft. I don't know if they're gonna waste it. The Eagles have so many needs, y'all. Okay, they need O-linemen, younger O-linemen. They need cornerbacks, safeties, pretty much every position on the defense side of the ball. They need receivers who could separate, okay, not get pressed down at the line of scrimmage. They need receivers who can separate and actually catch the ball, okay? They need a whole lot of things. So if you're going to go that quarterback route at the 1st pick, good luck. I think it's unnecessary. I mean, as we've seen, you could find, hidden gems in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th round of quarterback. Your boy, shout out to Dak, who I'm going to get into in a couple minutes here.
No.
Dak Prescott, 4th round pick.
Hold on.
You need to select the first. You need to get the best talent available, Philadelphia, okay? That's what we need. That's all we're looking for.
Stop talking about your team, please. Stop. Tired of talking about them, man. Okay,
breaking news. It was all about the headlines, bro. That's all they were talking about.
Let's talk about your former favorite quarterback, Carson Wentz. I know you just mentioned about him going to the Colts. I'm currently living in Indianapolis now. Just real quick to let you guys know how bad this man was last year. How god awful he was. 16 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, with a passing yards of 2,620. This is all took place before he was benched for Jalen Hurts. This is how bad this man was last year. And I'll be the first to admit, Avery was right. He called it. He said the man was going to the Colts. He said it. I didn't think it was going to happen. I didn't think Frank Reich had anything to do it. I didn't think so. But with that said, I was listening to, the Colts Sports Talk Radio, and apparently a lot of people think that Frank can actually fix him. Now, I don't know if that's going to be the case. We shall see. I think a lot of things can depend on what's going to happen with Deshaun Watson, which I'm sure we'll get into, him possibly leaving the Texans. So the AFC South will be pretty much wide open. They would just have to worry about, pretty much Tennessee right now, and then potentially as years go down the line, possibly Jacksonville with them drafting Trevor Lawrence, which we all know will happen. So we shall see. I don't know what's going to happen. People on ESPN saying that this man, well, Dan Orlovsky, said this today, that this man is a top 6 or 7 player in the league, which he is not. He was trying to say, like, yeah, he tried to say when this man is on, he's a top 6 or 7 and at the Colts are Super Bowl contenders. I'm not going that far. I personally believe they can be good next year. I think they'll be a playoff team, possibly, but I don't think that they will be Super Bowl contenders with Carson Wentz. Now, what I will say is, in fairness to Carson Wentz, you guys didn't give him much of a line. He's going to have that in Indianapolis. That he will have a line in Indianapolis. They're a pretty good line, bro. I'm just saying, y'all didn't have much, okay? Y'all let the man get sacked a lot and get knocked down. Let's keep it real. Now, I know what you're going to say. He held on the ball a lot. Yes, that is all true. That's very true. But at the same time, you guys want a great offensive line either. You got to keep it 100. Come on now.
Right. For this year, you're right. But it was a perfect storm of the offensive line being battered, Wentz holding on to the ball too long, making poor decisions, going rogue, as these reports have said, right? He would audible a lot of Dougie P's plays. It was a bad mix, bro. Now, I saw another report, too, that said that Wentz and Peterson didn't talk for like 10 half weeks of the season.
Yeah, it's like 10 weeks, bro. I was like, what the fuck is going on here?
See, that's what I'm talking about. So whether it's true or not, we knew that, Wentz needed a fresh start. And I know a lot of people want to talk about, his touchdown to interception ratio overall in his career. But at the same time, let's remember, he made the playoffs healthy one time. He threw, I think, one pass for 3 yards and he got a concussion. So we don't even know if he can handle these pressure moments. I was talking to my boy who's also an Eagles fan, and we were talking about, like, do we actually think that Wentz would have beaten the Patriots in that Super Bowl? I don't think he would have, because in those pressure moments against Tom Brady, I'll tell y'all this. Do y'all think Philly would have ever been a thing with Carson Wentz going to the sideline talking to Doug Peterson? Yeah, let's run Philly. No. Wentz's arrogant self would have tried some other mess, and it probably wouldn't have worked. So it was a perfect game by Nick Foles. Shout out to Nick Foles in that Super Bowl. I do not believe Wentz could have lost in the first round, and this whole narrative would have been flipped about that whole 2017 year. Bro, it's like, for whatever reason, everyone wants to make it like he is the greatest thing on earth because of one great season. We've seen a lot of NFL players, quarterbacks especially. Nick Foles, just to stay on the Eagles, with Chip Kelly, he had a season in the 2012-2013. He threw for 27 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Yeah. Amazing. Okay, and what happened after that? Now, before he went back to Philly, he struggled everywhere he went, right? Became a backup. Then obviously he under Philly and Doug Peterson and Frank Reich, necessarily in the playoffs when he needed to, he was on fire. This man was playing like at an elite level that we've never seen in like back-to-back playoff games, NFC Championship against the Vikings, Super Bowl against the Patriots. But overall, Nick Foles' career, minus that Super Bowl run, he's been pretty average, if not below average, as a quarterback, right? So my thing is, bro, and I want to switch. I don't want to stay on Wentz too long, but
yeah, because it's pain in your heart. I see.
Hey, I feel like a weight was just lifted.
Your feelings a little bit, man. You still hurt about what he did. You can't get over it.
Hey, man, all I can say is it's Jalen Hurts season in Philadelphia. All you Wentz apologists, please, man, y'all got to stop this, man. I can't.
You were one of them.
All I know is I'm not anymore, but when Sterling was getting on me years ago about these reports how bad Wentz was as a teammate, I tried to, no, that's just, don't listen to that, blah blah blah. It was right all along. It was right. But people, the Wentz apologists don't want to acknowledge that. It's like you can acknowledge that the front office has done wrong by Wentz. At the same time, Wentz has done wrong by the team too. Two things can be true. I don't know why people want to make it like, oh, the odds were against Wentz. They signed this man to a 4-year, $128 million deal, and they didn't have to do it right away. They did it after the 2019 season, fresh off that playoff loss and the concussion and all of that. Y'all could have waited another year, right? But they said, no, we're going to pay him. Look what's happening to Dak Prescott. Yes, Dak was not a first-round pick like Wentz and Goff, but they're running him all the way dry. And so he has absolutely no way of being a Cowboy. So I remember, too, I didn't think the Eagles were right because 2017, amazing year. 2018 was horrible. He got hurt again. 2019 did pretty solid, got hurt in the playoffs. It's like, you're going to pay him that, extend him already? You don't want to see him again produce? They made that mistake, and of course, they're sitting here with egg on their face. You fired the head coach, okay, Super Bowl winning coach, to get somebody to help Wentz, mind you. Nick Sirianni was there from Indianapolis for Wentz, and he still gets traded. So, bro,
sure did.
but you know, this isn't the Carson Wentz show, so we're gonna move along to your boy Dakota Prescott, because I'm confused, bro. I want to know from your perspective, where is Dak going to re-sign, or will he get that franchise tag and then say, you know what, I'm up out of here? What do you think, bro?
I'm gonna get into it. All right, so everybody knows I love Dak Prescott. That is my favorite player in the NFL. But I also have to be real. He's getting franchise tagged again. There's not going to be a contract extension with the Dallas Cowboys. And for all the Dallas Cowboy fans out there and Dak Prescott fans, you guys better buckle up, because this is going to be the last time that we see Dak Prescott behind center with the helmet on his head. I faced the realization, and I'll be honest, I'm cool with it. I want him to go somewhere else. Because, and I'll be honest with you, I believe Dallas has disrespected him, but I also believe at the same time, and I'm a big fan, Dak is also hasn't shown that he can also get Dallas over the hump. And I love Dak Prescott. Pains me to say that, but it's true. And I think, honestly, Dak needs to go to another situation where he can honestly show who he truly is, in my opinion. And don't get me wrong, you know, Dallas, to me, they're a dysfunctional organization. So that's part of it, too. So it's like him being there also causes problems. It's not all on him. You know, a quarterback gets the blame for most of the things, but it's the defense, it's the coaching. You know, now it's the running game with Zeke, even though Tony Pollard is balling. But it's just a multitude of things. I think it's time for Dak to get out of there. I personally believe, you know, teams that he should possibly look at are the Saints, if he becomes a free agent next season, which he will if he doesn't sign an extension. The Saints, possibly Washington football team, I think should be thrown out there. And even the Carolina Panthers, depending on what they do. I know they're interested in Deshaun Watson, so we'll see about that. But just to let you guys know what Dak Prescott was doing before he had his horrific ankle injury, you know, he had close to 2,000 passing yards, 9 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions with a passer rating of 99.6. He was on pace to actually throw about 5,000 yards this past season. So far, his career stats are 106 touchdowns, 40 interceptions, and he has over 17,000 passing yards. And for his career, he has a passer rating of 97.3. So as you can tell, the brother can ball. But, you know, at the same time, he has to be able to show he can get the team over the hump. So what you think, bro?
I'm glad you brought up those stats. And no, I mean, look, I will say Dak's a remarkable leader of men. I used to hate on Dak just because, you know, I'm a Cowboys hater. So by default, Dak, he falls in the crossfire. But no, I mean, I've grown more respect for Dak. I can't stand how the Cowboys have been treating him. I would say he's around the top 10 in quarterbacks in the NFL. I'm not saying he's top 5, but you could make a case for him being top 10. Now,
top 10.
Yeah, I'll say he's top 10. I will say that I would like to see him with another franchise. I think the Saints will be a good fit. I don't know what they're gonna do, if they're gonna let Jameis re-sign Jameis, go with Taysom Hill. Breeze is more than likely to retire. Drew Brees actually, like 24 out of his $25 million contract for this year, he had given back to the organization. So I believe he's getting ready to retire. I don't know if that, I mean, maybe the Bears. I don't know what the Bears are gonna do. Are they gonna re-sign Trubisky? Are they gonna
trade for
Foles is
Sam
not the
Darnold?
answer. Are they gonna draft somebody? Are they
They
gonna
might trade for Sam Darnold, I think.
Yikes. Oof. They're
Yeah,
better
that's what
off
I
drafting
think.
somebody at that point.
Yeah, but they keep talking about it.
Yeah, so Dak, I mean, even the 49ers, what are they going to do? Right? I believe Jimmy Garoppolo's getting up out of there. I think Jimmy G might go back to New England with Bill Belichick. For real. He might get traded back there. I could see it. Because if honestly, who's going to actually really want Garoppolo at this point? I don't know. Bill was the only one who was high on Garoppolo before. He might want him back in the same system with Josh McDaniels, see how he can rock over there. Another person I want to get into too, bro, which is not big news because I know how you feel about this, brother, but I can see, and I've been reading some reports, Cam Newton signing with the Washington football team. I'm just saying.
Bro, stop. We're talking about the quarterback carousel, right? He's not in it. Okay? He doesn't deserve to be talked about. Why are you doing this to me?
People have been talking about Cam and Washington football team going back with
I don't care.
Going back with Ron Rivera. I'm telling you,
he was garbage this year. Garbage.
Hey man, at least Washington football team, they got some better weapons, and New England had no weapons, bro. We can be honest about that. They had no weapons, bro.
Oh, you weren't giving that level of sympathy to Brady last year. All of a sudden, you want to give it to Cam. Get out of here. Get out of here, bro.
I mean, they went, bro. Wait a minute. They went 12-4 Brady's last year, man.
But he had no weapons. Bill didn't provide him with weapons. So what made you think Cam was going to do good with weapons? I mean, without weapons. You saw what happened. He's done. Done. He needs to become a backup, not a starter.
Well, here's my thing. I think
Jesus Christ.
The only place he would have a chance to start would be Washington football team. He might even be as a backup because I believe, Washington football team, will they draft a quarterback, right? They have a pretty solid young defense. We've seen their front seven, their starting four D linemen. They're all first round picks. I think it's 4 or 5 of them, but the first round picks. We know Chase Young and the boys down there. They can get after it. So if you get a quarterback who can be better than the Alex Smith, who, comeback player of the year, but he's really at the end of his career. They need a quarterback. Is Denver going to stick with Drew Lock? Maybe, maybe not. We know the Jets need a quarterback. Will they keep Sam Darnold? They have the number 2 pick. They can trade for Watson. They can trade for whoever, or they could just draft someone new. The Carolina Panthers, another team, bro. Will they trade for Deshaun? Or if Deshaun says, you know what, I don't want to go to Carolina, I could see them drafting someone like a Justin Fields potentially, right?
Yeah,
they still got Bridgewater under contract. They can draft a quarterback to learn under Teddy Bridgewater for another year or so.
Honestly, if they drafted a quarterback, I think they would be more inclined to actually trade Terry, in my opinion. I mean Teddy, sorry, in my opinion. I like Teddy a lot, but I think if you drafted Justin Fields, you just put him out there and start him, to be honest, especially with the 8th pick.
Yeah, bro. I don't know who's gonna really want to trade for Teddy Bridgewater. I mean, he's, I don't know, bro.
Somebody might. I mean, he's a serviceable quarterback, though.
Hey, the Saints. Remember with the Saints, didn't he go 5-0 last year? The Saints might say,
"Hey, he's a serviceable quarterback, though." I mean, my thing is this. Obviously, if you trade for Deshaun Watson, meaning Carolina Panthers, I mean, obviously you're getting rid of Teddy, and obviously they got to give up a lot of picks to get him. And the 8th overall pick too. That's going to be included too if Carolina won him.
Miami, as I think we talked about this before too, but Miami has 2 first-round picks. They might be the best team to get Watson. The Jets have a pretty good pick. I think those 2 teams on paper seem the best, as we said before, to get Watson. Panthers, I don't think they have as much, unless they're willing to give away Christian McCaffrey in that deal. I don't think they're going to be able to get him.
But like we both know though, like he has a no trade clause. He already took the Jets off his list.
Yeah.
The Jets are axed, so they're not getting him. I mean, I think Miami and the 49ers to me are going to be the top 2 teams on his list, personally, to me.
For sure.
Obviously, Miami.
If you're Deshaun, it's like Do I want to get away from Patrick Mahomes? Do I want to get away from Josh Allen? Do I want to get away from now Carson Wentz, Lamar Jackson, and the young abundance of quarterbacks in the AFC? As we talked about, the AFC, they're getting a lot younger now, a quarterback. And does Deshaun say, I see Aaron's getting older. I see, yes, they got Brady. He's older. Breeze is about to be done. Maybe he might want to go to the NFC and say, I could potentially make it to NFC championship games or Super Bowls consistently, because the NFC quarterbacks, it's a changing of the guard now. So yes, the NFC, you could look at, Russ is still there. Kyler Murray's coming.
That's what I say, yeah.
So that's the thing. You in the NFC West, you got Russ twice, Kyler Murray,
And
so
you still got to deal with the Rams, too. You still got to deal with the Rams.
Oh, the Rams, that defense, too.
Yeah, so, you still got to deal with the Rams.
If I'm Deshaun, man, I'm going to Miami, bro. Personally.
Exactly. He already took a picture with some of the players. I'm telling you, I mean, it's already out there. Like, I think Miami's going to be the one he goes to personally. And if I'm the Texans, I'm going to ask for that number 3 pick back, give it back to me. Maybe a couple more picks, 2 more picks, first-round picks. Yep. We got a deal. Let's make it, and give me to it. Give me to it. Let's make it happen.
Oh, of course. You can't keep to it in. You got to swap the quarterback. I'm with that, bro. I'm with that. I'm trying to think, is there anybody else who could we know, let me see. Big Ben's gonna stay with Pittsburgh. He's due 41 mil, but they're gonna he's gonna have to cut at least half. At least
he has to. They've been putting stuff out there about him. They're like, hey, like he kind of got
like he's the quarterback today, but
yeah, exactly.
Ben, he gonna cut that salary back.
He got to.
I can't really think anybody else on this quarterback carousel. I think the only other blockbuster deal, like we said, Deshaun Watson. Any other deal in a quarterback trade, maybe Sam Darnold's in it, but no blockbuster deals, I don't think. We mentioned Jimmy G as well. Will he reunite with Bill Belichick? I could see it happening. Everything else, I think, will be some free agent movement amongst the quarterbacks. And the draft, I mean, we got a handful of quarterbacks that'll be drafted too, and we'll get into that at another point, but I'm excited for the QB carousel, man. Shout out to Wentz, man. Fly Eagles fly. Enjoy the time in Indy. I mean, he gets to play in the dome now. Maybe he'll do better, bro. Maybe playing in the dome will help him not fumble so much. I don't know. The weather might not be as big as a factor. He loves fumbling, loves throwing those picks. We'll see. Maybe he'll do a little bit better in Indy, bro. But that's your boy now. Carson Wentz in your city. I can't wait to see. Sterling, let me know when you get them season tickets, bro. Let me know when you get them season tickets.
You're going to the game before I do. You already got the tickets.
Nah, they don't play Philly this year, unfortunately. But that would have been interesting. I'm sure next year, but not this year. But with that being said, man, let's do a little transition.
All right, cool. All right, y'all, it's time to talk about some NBA. So, like Avery said earlier, we've been doing a lot of, our speaker series. So we haven't really had time to really talk about the NBA and, the trade with James Harden and the Brooklyn Nets. Last night, Brooklyn Nets played against the Los Angeles Lakers. James Harden scored 23 points. Joe Harris added 21 points with 6 3-pointers. And the Brooklyn Nets routed the Lakers 109-98. For their season best 5th straight victory. Kyrie Irving had 16.7 rebounds. Brooklyn easily won this match of NBA title contenders. And actually a 5-game West road trip. A 5-game West Coast road trip, even without Kevin Durant, who missed his 3rd straight game with a strained left hamstring. Also, to kind of just highlight LeBron James' historic night, he had 32 points, and he also became the 3rd player and the youngest player in NBA history with 35,000 points. I kind of just want to go over some things about like the Brooklyn Nets and what they're doing so far. James Harden is averaging 24 points a game, 8 rebounds, and 11 assists. And he's really displaying a lot of great, floor vision. A lot of people would just think, hey, James Harden, he just loves to shoot the ball and things like that, and which he does. But he's showing you now that he can be a very unselfish player, and he can set up players in great positions for them to succeed. And I think that's why players like Joe Harris, Landry Shamet, TLC, just to name a few, are really benefiting from James Harden being there because they're getting wide open for threes. Kevin Durant is averaging 29 a game, seven rebounds, and 5 assists a game. KD has shown us, and I can't think of too many athletes who have really been able to recover from Achilles injury. But Kevin Durant has really shown us, like, hey, I can make it happen and I can do it. And he's performing, great this year. To me, he's playing MVP caliber. In my opinion, he's probably top 3 or top 5 in MVP voting, but he's doing a great job this year. And Brooklyn Nets are going to need him to be healthy for the remainder of the year if they want to win the championship. And my man, Uncle Drew, Kyrie Irving, that's a bad brother right there, y'all. Uncle Drew, the best handles of all time. And to me, the best finisher of all time as well. Kyrie Irving's having the best year of his career, averaging 27.7 points per game and 5.6 assists a game. A lot of people give Kyrie a lot of grief. A lot of people felt he shouldn't even started the All-Star game this year. A lot of people say he didn't play a lot of games, things like that. At the end of the day, man, this brother's been balling, man. And he's showing you why, he's one of the best players in the world. And there's nothing you can say about him, man. He's out there dominating his opponents, and nobody can stop him. And also Joe Harris, he's averaging 15 points a game and actually shooting 50% from 3. This man is a sniper out there. And another thing is, too, about Joe Harris, and I'm going to kind of get into it just a little bit, but, he plays very hard on the defensive side of the ball. He does, very good two-way player. It doesn't get talked about a lot because everybody knows the Nets defense isn't that good. But this man performs very hard, and I love Joe Harris on that team. And also, just to kind of highlight some things as far as like the offensive and defensive ratings, since the Harden trade, the Nets have a 122.6 offensive rating, which is the best in the league and would be the best of all time. But they also have a 119.9 defensive rating, which would be the worst in the league and the worst of all time. Last night, we saw, actually, that was their best defensive performance last night of the season so far. So maybe they can start getting the flow and getting the trend of things of how to play defense. In my opinion, they don't have to be a great defensive team, but they have to get key stops and key possessions in order to be a championship team. In my personal opinion, I think Brooklyn Nets need to make a trade for a big man like JaVale McGee, or hope that Andre Drummond maybe gets bought out by the Cavs, which I think is unlikely because they're trying to find a trade partner for him. But if I was Brooklyn, a trade that I would consider is possibly trading Spencer Dinwiddie, considering that he has 1 year left on his deal anyway, and you got a lot of money tied up with the big three and Joe Harris. And I would probably try to trade him for somebody like Aaron Gordon, who plays for Orlando Magic or something. Aaron Gordon's averaging 13 a game with 7 rebounds. So maybe that's somebody that you could possibly get in the trade for Spencer Dinwiddie, maybe. I don't know if that's what Brooklyn wants to do, but I would consider it. And also, I think their bench is coming along as well, like I just mentioned with Landry Shamet and TLC and Jeff Green as well. Jeff Green has been a very good veteran for them this year. And another thing that what is great about Brooklyn is, they're 11-1 against teams 500 or above. And to me, that's going to be crucial as the season progresses. It shows you that, hey, when it's the big time game, they come in ready to show out. So that just lets me know when the playoffs hit and roll around, Brooklyn's going to be ready. So what you think about Brooklyn, bro?
What I can say is that you were right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It was a few episodes back, man. And Sterling said it before we even got into the start of the season. He's like, yeah, Brooklyn's going to the chip and they're going to take it home. And I'm like, wait, pump the brakes. At this time it was just KD and Kyrie. I'm like, you know what? They're probably going to be one of the top teams in the East. I stupidly said that the Bucks will come out the East. There's not a chance in hell that that's going to happen. Okay. The Nets, man, they look like, man, I don't think anyone's going to stop them. Like, I'll be real on that. The way they beat the Lakers last night, and a lot of people are hating on the fact that, AD wasn't there, and, LeBron didn't have help, and Schroeder wasn't there, and I get all that. KD also didn't play. It was just Kyrie and Harden. And but like we said, man, I think they were shooting the lights out the gym, bro, with the 3-point game last night. They were almost the first team in NBA history to shoot 3 games in a row with 20 made 3-pointers. They fell a little bit short in this game against the Lakers, but they're shooting the lights out right now, right? The 3 game is killing it. And yes, we know they give up a lot of points, but damn it, they're scoring more than most teams every night. So as Sterling said, man, you know, against the top teams above 500, they've only lost 1 game. So when the games matter against these top teams, they're getting the job done. And that's all that's going to matter, whether they're the first seed or the second seed out of the East. The Sixers are the top seed right now. I like what I'm seeing out of Philly. You know, shout out to Doc Rivers and Embiid and, you know, Seth Curry, okay, Simmons, you know, Tobias Harris. They got a solid squad. But I don't think it's still not enough, man, in a 7-game series. You might get 1 or 2, but I don't see you getting the 4 before the Nets. And whether the Nets face the Lakers or the Clippers or whomever, the Jazz, who knows, you know, they're off to an amazing start. Man, they just got too much. The star power. We know Sterling knows best, man. Stars win in the NBA. So the Nets, man. The championship is coming, might come to the city, man. New York City, not the Knicks, but Brooklyn, man. Brooklyn, stand up. The Nets, man, they're coming. The Nets are coming.
That's right, man. Tell your city to stand up because you know what? They're going to witness a championship that hasn't taken place since 1972. Okay? And that was the Knickerbockers. And look, all I know is this. Brooklyn is going to bring basketball back to New York City, baby. That's all I know. That's all I know. The Mecca is at Barclays Center. It's at the Barclays. So if you want to see a great game, go to the Barclays Center. Don't go to Madison Square Garden. That arena's trash and old. Get rid of it. Go to Barclays Center.
Man, I haven't been to MSG, and it was like probably 6 or 7 years, but you're right, bro. They ain't, man. It's so much of like the reputation of where it is in New York City that people think it's amazing, but they thought years ago, back in 2010, they was gonna get LeBron. They thought, oh, we're getting KD, we're getting Kyrie. Nah, we're going to Brooklyn instead.
And they thought when they got Melo, and I love me some Carmelo, that's my guy. They thought they was winning the championship with him and Amari Stoudemire. They thought the chip was coming. New York was going crazy. Hey, but they got something to look forward to now. Barclays Center, Brooklyn Nets. Woo! Winning it in 6. Winning the championship in 6. It doesn't matter if it's the Clippers or the Lakers. It don't matter. Winning in 6. Yeah, man. Hey. All right. What you about to say, bro?
No. You good. I can't say anything else, man. I'm with you on that.
No, I was just about to transition to the NBA All-Star game real quick.
Let's go.
As everybody knows, the NBA All-Star game will take place Sunday, March 7th. Yesterday, NBA announced the NBA All-Star starters. And by the way, NBA All-Star game would take place in Atlanta.
In the A?
Yeah, in the A. Where my boy lives at. Why? In the A.
It's cool. Man, them club promoters doing the Birdman hair rub right now. I'm telling you.
Hey, I know they up here talking about, the protocols and all that, but we all know the NBA players going to Magic City to get some of Lou Williams wings, boy. They going to Magic City, boy. They going to Magic City to see them strippers, boy. You know they going up in there. They don't care about COVID at that point. They going to risk it all.
Mayor Keisha Lance Bombs, bro, real quick in Atlanta, too. She's out here saying, this is a TV-only event and people should not be traveling to the ATL. Bro, the city already got people still going to the club. So just the people who live here are still going out. So people are going to be traveling to the A just to have a chance, the smallest chance to try to hit a lick with one of these players. Just the smallest chance.
The women coming? The women
California, from New York, from Florida, from Arizona,
they coming from China,
North Dakota. Bro. They coming from everywhere.
They coming from China. They coming outside the country. They coming.
And they all bringing that COVID down here. They all bringing the COVID back.
Oh man.
Shoot, bro, I can't believe it.
Just real quick. So just to give you guys a breakdown about the All-Star voting and how it takes place. So 50% actually comes from the fans, 25% from the media, and another 25% from the players. So just to talk about the West starters, Luka Doncic, who averages 29 points a game, 8 rebounds, and 9 assists. Steph Curry, 30 points a game and 6 assists. Now going to the front court with LeBron, 25, 8, and 8. Nikola Jokic, 27 points, 11 rebounds, and 8 assists, which is insane for a big man. Now, like, I've never seen nothing like that. That's crazy. Kawhi Leonard, 26, 5 rebounds and 5 assists. And then for your Eastern Conference starters, you got Kyrie. As I mentioned, he averaged 27 and 5. Bradley Beal, free my guy Bradley Beal. Get him out of Washington quick, fast, in a hurry. He better ask for a trade today. 32.8 points a game, 5 rebounds and 4 assists. I mentioned mentioned Kevin Durant's stats earlier with 29, 7, and 5. Giannis, even though it's not an MVP season for him, he's still averaging 28, 11 rebounds, and 6 assists. And Joel Embiid, who just put up 50 points tonight and 17 rebounds, is averaging 29 a game and 10 rebounds. So I guess we're going to get into it. So as we all know, the captains are LeBron and Kevin Durant. So if you guys know from previous All-Star games in the past few years, the two captains actually pick the players they're going to have on their team. So what Avery and I are going to do, we're actually going to pick those players who we think will be on Kevin Durant and LeBron's team. So Avery, if you want to go first, bro, and let me know who you think.
For sure. So according to the rules, right? So LeBron had the most overall fan votes. So by that, LeBron will get the first pick. So it's interesting because Anthony Davis was not voted in as a starter. We know he's dealing with that calf strain or maybe even an Achilles injury, right? So he's out for a while. So even if he'll be a reserve, but he's not playing in the game. So as far as the starters are concerned, because Bron has the first pick and because AD is not playing, this is what we're gonna go just to the teams, right? I'm gonna start with Team LeBron, and I'm going in the order of how he's going to pick the team, right? Team LeBron is going to have Kyrie Irving.
Oh God! Stop!
Giannis, hold on. LeBron is going to pick Kyrie with the first pick. He's going to pick him with the first pick because he knows that Kyrie can't stand his guts, and he's going to do it just because he wants to spite Kyrie and not have him play with Durant. I'm telling you, Kyrie's first. Hold on, hear me out though. Kyrie's first pick. Then he's going to pick Giannis. Then I think he's going to pick Luka. Okay, and then I think to wrap it out, he's going to pick Joel Embiid. So for Team LeBron, I have Bron, obviously, Kyrie, Giannis, Luka, and Embiid. So that means with KD's team, now mind you, KD's picking second. So after Bron picks Kyrie, I have KD picking Steph. That's right. He's going back to his old running mate. He's going to take Steph because if he doesn't take Steph next, LeBron's going to take Steph with the next pick. So he's going with Steph, Kawhi, Bradley Beal, and then Jokic will probably be the last pick out of everybody. So for me, Team Bron is Bron, Kyrie, Giannis, Luka, Embiid. KD is KD, Steph, Kawhi, Beal, and Jokic. So out of the starters, that's my personal take on how LeBron will be petty Bron and pick Kyrie with his first pick.
All right. See, you got me all bothered with petty Bron stuff. Okay, here's why I don't think he's picking Kyrie for one. Because of what happened, this past fall where Kyrie made comments and said, hey, this is the first time really playing with a clutch player, meaning Kevin Durant. So he took a, little stab at LeBron and hurt LeBron's heart. I mean, he talked about it publicly on television. I mean, he was in his feelings. He's like, yeah, it hurt me a little bit. Yeah, I bet it did. But it was true. Anyway, also another thing is we saw what happened last night when Kyrie said, hey, this is who you guys haven't come to the free throw line to shoot the technical.
The mic picked that up. Man, Kyrie should just went up to Bron and said, he kind of turned to the side and said, it's all good. It's all good.
Stop
Say
it,
with
bro.
your chest, Kyrie. Come on.
Hey, hold on now. Kyrie ain't soft now. Don't do him like that.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
Hold on now.
Go
Hold on
ahead.
now.
Hey, I'm not trying to throw insult his way. I'm just saying, bro.
Going back
You
to
should
the
have went right to
Cleveland
LeBron and said it right to him.
going back to them Cleveland days, it was reported him and LeBron had exchanged words. Now, come on now.
Oh no, they did. You could tell. You could tell seeing him on the bench. You could tell.
Let me get back to who's gonna pick. So for Team LeBron, I got him picking first. Giannis. I think that's who he's gonna pick first. Second, KD gonna get his boy Kyrie. LeBron's gonna then pick Steph.
Okay.
KD's gonna pick Bill. LeBron's gonna pick Embiid. Then I think KD will get Jokic. And then I think LeBron will pick Luka, and then KD's going to get Kawhi. That's what I think, personally.
I think Kawhi's going to go last, huh?
I do. I think so.
Okay.
And I could be wrong, but I think that's how it might go. It might go down.
Let me just bring this up, though. And because of everything you said about Kyrie and Bron, you're probably right. But remember, LeBron likes to change the narrative in his favor. Think about this. If he picks Kyrie with that first pick, after all that was said, Kyrie said this, Kyrie said that. LeBron said, I want Kyrie on my team because just for the sole purpose of not having him play with KD. I was keeping it real with you. I believe Bron will be like, oh, I'm being a bigger person. I'm picking Kyrie.
But not with the first pick, though.
I mean,
I'm
going out on a limb. I mean, honestly,
you
could see him picking Giannis first, probably, or even Luka first. But I think he's gonna do it. He's gonna go Kyrie. LeBron could pick Steph first. I don't know, but
I don't think he'll pick Kyrie because I think honestly, even though I feel you. I see what you're saying. I feel you, but I just think that out of respect, though, you need to let KD pick his teammate, though, out of respect. Because my thing is this: say if KD had the first pick and AD was on the board first, KD ain't gonna take AD out of respect that AD's LeBron's teammate. He wouldn't have done that.
But my thing of the Kyrie thing is more in the narrative, though. It's not even that the fact that it's just his teammate. Because of the history they have, AD and KD don't have that same history, right? That's the only reason I'm saying that for that in this instance. It's because of that history.
But I think also LeBron and Kyrie as well, even though I get the history, things have been said since then that made LeBron feel some type of way. And I don't think LeBron is going to want to pick him in my person. Not with the first
thing I can say is that
if he was developed at second or third, I think he would take him, but not at first, bro. Not the first pick.
I'm thinking that again, it makes Bron look like he's a bigger person through all that was said. And the fact that he was being funny, not having him. I would love to see. That would make for great TV. I would tune in to make sure that he picks Kyrie first. But in all seriousness, he probably won't. But that's just what I would like to see. So that's my opinion. It probably won't happen. But just in case it does, you heard it here first. You heard it here first.
It ain't happening. He ain't picking him first.
And one more thing, bro, I want to get into before we transition is that a lot of people were talking about the starting 10, 5 on each team. And a lot of people had an issue with your boy, Luka Doncic, being over Dame Lillard.
Let me get at it.
I just want to put it out there that there was a tie between Luka and Dame, right? So Dame had won like the player votes, and he also won. It was either coaches or media. I forget whose vote was counted. The supposed tiebreaker was the fan vote. So Luka got more in the fan vote, which propelled him to a starter. Now, just get into some numbers here. As we know, both of them are prolific scorers. If we're looking at actually points per game for this year, Dame ranks third behind Bradley Beal, Steph Curry. He's at 29.8 points per game, 7.7 assists per game, and also 4.4 rebounds per game. Now, Luka Doncic is top 5. He's number 5, scoring 29 points a game. So Luka's got 29, 9 assists, 8 rebounds. So pretty similar numbers, but at the end of the day, Portland Trailblazers are 18-10. Okay, the Dallas Mavericks are below 500. For that reason alone, you gotta look at Dame Dollar Man and be like, how would you have Luka over him? Just based off, I mean, come on now. Like, I know the fan vote is respected. Well, not really respected, but it's allowed to determine who gets to play in these all-star games. It's more so start. And I think that's the one they got wrong on this one, bro. They definitely got this wrong.
Nah, they got it wrong. Okay, so let me rewind a little bit to Mr. Luka Doncic. He a bad boy, don't get me wrong. But here's my issue. The NBA is trying to push him too soon. And also the media and fans. You put him on a Christmas Day game against LeBron and AD, and he got towned on. Okay, got embarrassed. Okay, everybody thought he was gonna go out there and ball out, and he didn't. Look, man, and you just mentioned the standings. Portland, like you said, they're fourth in the West. Dallas is 10th in the Western Conference.
And it should matter for something. It should matter for something. Come on.
And this man's about to start, bro. I'm cool with him coming off the bench. Fine. But to start, get out of here. Like, come on.
It's a bad look, bro. It's a bad look.
What are people doing here? And my thing is this. Yes, the fans get majority of the vote. But my thing is this. The media and the players should not have allowed it to be a tie to begin with. They should have voted for Dame Dollar. That shouldn't have happened. It's disrespectful. It's crazy that this man, Dame, think about it, bro. He's never started an all-star game. He's always came off the bench. To me, this was the best year for him to start.
He earned it in my eyes, bro. And they continue to disrespect this man and continue to fuel the flame that goes inside him, bro. He's looking, to kill everybody on the court, man, and steal your heart out your chest, bro. Like, Luka, look, he's very promising. A lot of people love him. A lot of people said he was going to be a front runner for MVP.
Man, come on.
Not for 2020.
He ain't in the top 10. He ain't in the top 10.
Yeah.
Get him out of there,
bro. Yeah, it's sad, bro. But yeah, I like everybody else that started. I'm with it. But I'm excited to see who picks who, bro. You know what I'm saying? It'll be funny to me and entertaining if Bron did pick Kyrie. But again, I'm probably leaning more towards you. I want to see it. Don't y'all want to see that? Y'all don't want to see Bron pick Kyrie just because of all that was said?
No. Nobody want to see that.
Hey, man. I would like to see it, bro.
I want to see KD, Kyrie, James Harden on the same team. That's what needs to happen. Okay? Same team all-star game. That's what needs to happen. Be respectful.
We know Bron ain't gonna let that happen. You might let him get Kyrie, but he's gonna try to get harder from him.
Yeah, he gonna try to. He gonna try.
Hey, but all right, y'all. We gonna move into the final topic.
Let's do it, y'all. Let's do it.
Hold on 1 second here.
You want to start off first?
I'm gonna I'll let you take it because this is your moment. This is your moment.
All right, bro. All right. You ain't ready about to happen, bro.
Let me go ready.
You ain't ready, bro.
Jesus, bro.
Through all that turnover, through all that adversity, through all these Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Dan Marino, Johnny Unitas, John Elway, and Joe Montana comparisons. The one thing that is made 1,000% certain, height 6'4", weight 225, born to the wonderful Leyland Patricia Brady in San Mateo, California, August 3rd, 1977. And that is the reason, no matter how spectacular Pat Mahomes has been, and he's been spectacular. He's been spectacular, Avery. As long as I got Tom Brady, I fear nothing. Praise the good Lord that this man, Tom Brady, is a 7-time Super Bowl champion. Do you hear me? 7-time Super Bowl champion. The greatest football player to lace him up. I just want y'all to know.
I can't even.
Tom Brady has over 79,000 passing yards, 581 touchdowns, which is in the most in NFL history. Yes, he did. He passed up Drew Brees. And he has a passer rating of 97.3 all time. And I just mentioned about his Super Bowl 7 times. He has a 7-3 record. How you feel about that, bro? How do you feel about what this man has done? We're talking about going into the Hall of Fame this year. Peyton Manning, you know what Peyton Manning should do? He should have a statue with Tom Brady right next to him when he gets inducted. To thank Tom Brady, to thank that man for all the times he worked on him. Put some respect on this man's name right now in front of everybody. Put some respect. Damn respect.
Oh, man. Okay. Well, bravo, bro. I got to give you an A+ on that performance right there. Okay. Okay. Listen, Sterling, my brother, you've been right this whole time.
Gotta be all hot.
I was feeling salty the night of the Super Bowl. I was definitely in my feelings, if you want to call it that. All right. But one thing remains certain, man, is Tom Brady's the undisputed GOAT, and he is the greatest football player to ever live. I can't even debate it. I can't try to come up with an argument against it. Man, 10 Super Bowls, 7-3. I mean, however you want to slice it. You want to say that the first three, the defense and all that. Okay. 10 years later, comes back again, has another dynasty with New England. People doubt him, continuously doubt him. The whole team, and the coach, Bill Belichick, said, all right, I'm good. All right, bye. You're old. I'm going with someone else. Tom Brady called the shot. He said, of all teams I'm going to go to, I'm not going to Tennessee or this team or that team. I'm going to Tampa Bay because they have the weapons. They have the Mike Evans, the Chris Godwins of the world. They have, at the time it was just Rojo. They signed Leonard Fournette as a free agent once he got cut from Jacksonville. They have Cameron Brate. Gronk came back with him, right? His security blanket. AB, the only team AB was going to come back to was where Tom Brady was going to play. AB comes back. You got BA, Bruce Arians. And shout out to Bruce Arians, by the way. You guys probably heard this before. Having a very diverse staff. I'm not going to say everyone's name because I'll probably butcher them, but he had, I believe, 4 African-American men as the head. It was offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, special teams. If I'm not mistaken, it might have been quarterback coach or another position. I could be wrong. I apologize. And also 2 women coaches as well. So shout out to Bruce Arians for that. But sticking on Brady because he deserves the respect. Okay, I'm not going to take it away from him. This man ran through, yes, Washington football team, whatever, but on the road, he ran through Washington. He ran through the Saints, which I did pick him to win, and you did not, sir. Okay. Green Bay, where we both, again, picked Brady to lose this time, even though you were, I know you was in the mind like, oh, Brady. Gets that done, right? I think Aaron Rodgers choked, but it doesn't matter. The defense started to come alive against us in the Saints, against the Packers. The Super Bowl, man. Come on, man. Patrick Mahomes is averaging 30 points a game in the postseason, man. And, even if you predicted the Buccaneers to win, it wasn't going to be 31-9. Nobody would have predicted that. And Brady did again what he needed to do, and he did it again. Against, me and other Brady, haters in the world, proved us wrong again. We got to eat it now. We got to own it. And I got to own it, man. I got to shout out, salute to Brady, man. And it bothers me, but, I got to admit it. So your boy came through again. Sterling was like 7-7, all that. Back from when they played the Eagles in 2017. And then my Eagles came out victorious, right? And then the year after, 6, because the year after they beat the Rams, right? So then he was like 7-7. I'm like, man, get out of here with that. I was wrong. Brady wants to play, obviously coming back to try to run it back. Can he do it? I'm not even going to doubt that he can. So you're not going to hear from me doubting him. I might not pick them, but I'm not going to doubt it. If they get in, I'm just going to be like, hey, bro, I got to see you to believe it before he actually takes the L. But man, that this is your moment. You've been waiting for this. That's it. I can't say nothing else.
Acknowledge Tom Brady as the greatest football player of all time. All you have to do is fall in line.
I said it already, man. He's a
and
GOAT, man.
acknowledge. No, you're saying he's the greatest quarterback. He is
No,
the
no,
greatest.
no. I
football.
said, no. He's the greatest football player. I said it. I said
Thank
it.
you, thank you, thank you.
I said it quick. You might not have heard me because I try to, breeze through it. But he is, man. I look at guys like Dion, right, and the type of athlete he was. But when you look at, as overall, even Jerry Rice is up on the list. But it's because he has the stats and the championships. He's the GOAT, man. He got. He fooled himself, man. He loves some damn Tom Brady. I cannot believe this, man. But before we conclude, bro, the last question I want to talk about, ESPN brought it up, other networks brought it up about, who was like the real GOAT, like the GOAT of GOATs,
greatest of all time.
Greatest of all time. We looked at Michael Jordan, not just as a GOAT of basketball, but kind of like that golden standard of like the greatest. And to be fair, I'm saying we're not the biggest in the soccer. Some people call it football, right? I'm not going to go in the world. I'll just stay in American sports, right? So I'm talking basketball, baseball, tennis, football, golf, whatever sport you want to put in there, right? Even track and field, whatever, Olympics.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan still kind of looked at as the GOAT, but the conversation has came up, really of in some other sports where it's, one-on-one, we talking about tennis, talking about golf. You have the Tiger Woods of the world, right? You have the Serena Williams, right? And that's a conversation. Who is the real GOAT? You think of obviously Brady, you think of Jordan, you think of, Serena, all of her accomplishments individually. You think of maybe Tiger Woods. I mean, he probably not as high as Serena, but Tiger Woods comes up to mind. If you want to go Olympics, I mean, Michael Phelps, I mean, you can go to some of the track athletes too. But I want to know from you, because you say he's the greatest football player ever.
Yeah.
Are you putting Brady ahead of all those other athletes? And even some I might have forgot to mention. In American sports history, you put Brady as the greatest ever, or are you just going to stick with football?
All right, bro. So before I give my answer, I want to go through. I know we mentioned some of the athletes that we discussed. So I just want to just highlight them before I give my answer.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So Michael Jordan, obviously, for his career, 30 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. And everybody knows 6-0 record in the finals. Regardless of what the LeBron fans say out there, we all know who's the greatest NBA player of all time. That is Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Yes, sir.
The real number 23. Not the knockoff version. All right. The real 23. Tiger Woods, record tying 82 tour wins and 15 major championships. Serena, as you mentioned, 92 career Women's Tennis Association finals and a record of 72 wins and only 20 losses. And she has 23 Grand Slam singles as well. So, like, Serena's a bad girl. Like, this woman is highly accomplished. Roger Federer.
Highly respected, too, though.
Yeah,
highly
respected. Absolutely.
Oh, sorry. Highly disrespected. I highly disrespected is what I meant to say.
Yeah.
Really bad. Yeah.
Roger Federer has won 103 Association of Tennis professional single titles, including 20 Grand Slams. Michael Phelps, 23 gold medals, 3 silver and 2 bronze. And Wayne Gretzky, a lot of people talk about Wayne Gretzky as well as far as what he did for the sport of hockey. He had close to about 3,000 points scored and about 1,963 assisted. He's a 15-time All-Star and a 4-time Cup winner. But the person I'm going to go with, bro, personally is Muhammad Ali. That's who I'm going to go with. And the reason being is because, Mr. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, had 56 wins, 37 knockouts, and 5 losses. But to me, what really stands out about Muhammad Ali is, in 1967, Muhammad Ali was called to join the Vietnam draft. He was an undefeated heavyweight world champion at the time, and he refused to go into the army. And he actually said after getting drafted, he said, "I ain't got no quarrel with those Viet Congs." That's what he said. Ali refused to step forward for the draft in April 28th, 1967. He was arrested, that same day. Before he was even convicted, the New York State Athletic Commission revoked Ali's boxing license. A few months later, Ali was convicted of draft evasion, and he was sentenced to 5 years in prison and banned for boxing for 3 years. like I said, he was stripped from his career. He was actually, like I said, unemployed. The conviction brought with him about $10,000 fine. He actually had to travel to speak at various colleges just to make income. So that just lets you know what he was going through during that time. He never, he didn't actually have to serve any of his 5-year prison sentence, but the conviction still gave a bad taste in people's mouths about Muhammad Ali. And, it made his life miserable and also his family. Eventually, boxing, lifted the ban in 1970, and he returned to boxing in October of that year. He actually knocked out Jerry Quarry in the 3rd round. He ended up actually losing to Joe Frazier in 1971, but he got revenge a few years later when he defeated Frazier in 1974 in a rematch. And he also beat George Foreman later on that year, which is known as the Rumble of the Jungle, to reclaim the heavyweight title. So the reason I bring up Muhammad Ali is because through all that adversity, he still overcame to be great. And that, to me, that's what the greatest of athlete of all time is you go through that adversity, and he went through intense adversity to come back to be the king of boxing. I'm not even talking about everything he did outside of boxing, but just what he went through in that moment to be able to come back on top, man. I got to go with Muhammad Ali, man. How much I love the Bradys, the Georges, the Serenas, I got to go with Muhammad Ali. Cassius Clay, y'all. Muhammad Ali.
Well, I applaud your answer because I didn't know how much of the Brady fandom was going to come out of you for that. So I respect the hell out of that answer because we know Brady is not the GOAT of all GOATs. I just want to put that out there. I'm glad you can acknowledge that. This is a tough question, and I didn't know you were going to come with Muhammad Ali. I respect that. For every reason you just stated. I mean, it's hard for me to say. I would, if I had to pick a few, I mean, I would still put Michael Jordan up there. I would put Serena up there. And Serena, man, the amount of hate this woman has went through as an amazing tennis player. And people just want to say, oh, well, she's the greatest woman. I mean, yes, you can compare to Roger Federer and all that. Yes, it's different, men and women playing sports, but man, you got to respect what she's went through, the adversity she went through as well. Tennis is really just like golf, like a predominantly white sport, right? Whether you're playing in the U.S. or playing, overseas. And she's been all over the world, beating the best of the best. And still to this day, people are not trying to give her respect. They talk about the way she wears her tennis outfits. They talk about how she's aggressive and this and that. And, it's just like she gets a lot of hate, but she's kicked some ass throughout her day. So you got to give her flowers, man. And I know she just lost recently to a new up-and-comer, Naomi Osaka. So we don't know how much longer Serena will go at it, but I got to give her definitely one of my top nods. MJ to me still, not just because he went 6-0, but obviously it's a 2-3 piece. If we talk about what he's done for the game of basketball, for these athletes today, and, there was no social media era when he played in the 90s, right? So what he's meant to the game to globalize it for the ones like the Kobe's and the LeBrons and people like that, how he really uplifted the game in that sense, to me, it's a lot. And we know playing basketball, offense and defense, he was great, right? Like we talk about Kobe's another great all-time offensive defensive player. Like MJ wasn't just, okay, score. He had the opportunity to play defense, and he did it at a very high level. So you look at that. I mean, Usain Bolt, another person, I didn't mention him before, but known as the fastest man, ever in the world. I know he won 3 separate Olympic. He went gold in 3 different Olympics, right? So that's the first person to ever do that for the 100 and 200 meter races. He's another one you could look at, right? I mean, there's so many, bro. It's tough. I love the Muhammad Ali mention you brought up in there too. It's hard for me to pick one. I personally would probably go with Michael or Serena if I had to pick one.
And I know you just brought up track too. Another person is Jesse Owens as well. Jesse Owens should be mentioned. He was a 4-time gold medalist. And everybody knows what happened with the 1936 Olympic Games. As far as being in Berlin, with Adolf Hitler. So Jesse Owens should be mentioned as well. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot of great athletes, man. Like it's hard just to pick one. I just think how I look at, greatest athlete is how you overcame your obstacles and still became great at the end of the day. And all of them had obstacles, don't get me wrong. But I just think with Muhammad Ali, what he went through is just remarkable. And for him to come out on top is just even more remarkable in my opinion. So that's why I went with Muhammad Ali. But I like your choices of, Michael and Serena. Like you said, Serena's very disrespected. I know a lot of people in the media disrespect her greatness, and also they try to use like her clothing to disrespect her. Like, oh, she shows too much when she performs, her tennis matches and things like that. Like they try to focus like how she looks, and it's like her greatness speaks for herself. Like this woman's a beast at what she does. Like put respect on her name, and they never
a couple
done
years
that.
ago too, bro. She won a title being pregnant too. We, obviously as men, we have no idea what that's like being pregnant. But for a woman to play at that high athletic level while you're pregnant and still winning the title, man, like come on, bro. So I got to give them love. Muhammad Ali got to get love too. Another up and coming GOAT, Simone Biles, the gymnast, multi gold medals for gymnast. She's up and coming too. As a potential GOAT conversation for herself. So it's a lot of people, man. I mean, to me, Brady doesn't. I don't know if I put Brady in the top 5, honestly. I mean, I probably would, honestly, but I think he's top 3. He's not top 3 for me.
I agree. Yeah, he's not top 3 for me either, but I think he's top. You got to put him in the top 5, bro. Like he has to be. Like,
yeah,
7-time Super Bowl champion in a very hard sport in football. I got to give it to him, bro. I got to give.
It doesn't just rely on you, right? You need the defense. Like obviously, Seattle throwing the interception, right? That was out of Brady's hands. Defense did it, right? Like a lot has to go right for you.
Here you go. I knew you was gonna go there. I knew it.
I'm just saying a lot has to go right for you in the game of football. That's out of your control. So the way that he's been able to overcome that time after time after time, you gotta give him credit for it. You have to. I think some people look at, well, I've seen Michael. Every time he's won, he's been the main reason. He's playing both sides of the floor, right? Serena, it's all her, right?
But that's not fair to Brady. That's not fair.
I'm not saying it's. You're right. It isn't fair, but some people might just look at things differently, right? Like the individual. And we're talking about the GOAT, right? I'm just saying, like, you look at a lot of these individual athletes, and if they're performing and beating, knocking down the competition, it might get looked at differently depending on who's judging it. But okay, I'll give Brady the respect. He got to be in the top 5. But for me, I'll put, like you said, Michael, Serena, put Muhammad Ali in there. It's tough. You could put one of the Olympic athletes as well, one of the Olympians. It's tough. But yeah, you gotta give Brady his respect, man. I mean, I can't hate on it anymore. Like it's real, bro. Like I'm not a Brady fan, but you gotta give him his respect, give him his flowers. The man defied the odds once again for being a 6th-round pick, right? He wasn't coming in as a Peyton Manning. He wasn't coming in as an Andrew Luck, as a top talent of all time. Like that's not how we came in the game, right?
Speak on it.
Yeah, that's it, man. I'm throwing this praise, man. You had your moment, though. I'm glad you had your moment, bro.
Speak on it.
Hey, man. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we good, man. We're good. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning into the Savory Show once again. Don't forget to follow the Savory Show, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, at the Savory Show. Savory is spelled Savery. Available on all major podcast platforms. We're talking about Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Amazon Music. The list goes on and on. We're pretty much everywhere, y'all. Deezer's another one. iHeartRadio. Long list. Check us out. Our main page, as you guys are on Buzzsprout. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Sterling, you have any parting words for the fans? Anything you'd like to add to that?
All y'all should be Tom Brady fans. That's all I got to say. Just support that man. And stop disrespecting that man. I'm just playing. But real talk, thank you all for the support. We love you guys. And we got more great things coming down the line, so stay tuned.
Absolutely. Well, like Sterling said, man, hope y'all been enjoying it. Got some more on the way for y'all. It's been good. It's been great. We'll check y'all out later.
All right, y'all.